Right, let's get this show on the road. Sorry, wherever you are in the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and welcome to the final podcast of 2025. I know there'll be a lot of upset people, but the podcast will then be returning back on the 2nd of January, where we're talking about the Mansfield game. But forget about that. It's your time, your club, your team in the final whistle. And I am joined by a couple of people. I am joined by Harry from Top of the Cop.
How are you doing, Johnny?
I am joined by Ash, if she's there, or she's chilling. Ash is chilling. And
I'm
also, oh, she's there. And also Green Army Loop Harry, who's a Plymouth fan.
Yep, and boy, have I got a lot to talk about today.
So let's get straight into this set. So obviously, let's talk about the massive elephant in the room. Bradford City lost yesterday. Typically, 2-1 against Leyton Orient, with Don Ballard scoring and some dodgy goalkeeping from Leyton Orient. So let's get the highlights, and then we'll go over to Mr. Graham Alexander. So here's the highlights. Followed by some pictures of me. And yeah.
With the ball, far side, infield pass, that's cut out by Max Power. Will send a long ball upfield to Stephen Humphreys. The goalkeeper's come out. Humphreys against Simpkin. Humphreys will shoot on the right foot, and it's in. Bradford City take the lead, and they will take every early Christmas gift that Orient will throw at them. The long ball forward. Simpkin, the goalkeeper, committed, and all Stephen Humphreys had to do was show it onto his right foot and strike home to give Bradford City a 16th minute lead here in London. Leyton Orient 0, Bradford City 1.
You know what, Louis, I wish I'd said it earlier now. He worried me, the goalkeeper, because he has been out far too often, far too far out of his box for me. And it was, I tell you what, Humphreys was decent on the halfway line, because he could have run offside.
Yeah,
it's a wonderful kick. The goalkeeper should be nowhere near that, and what he's...
Towards the Bantams penalty area. It's in the box now. Massive header and an equaliser from Don Ballard. We have played 35 minutes and Leyton Orient are back on terms. Excellent move, fantastic finish. Leyton Orient 1, Bradford City 1.
Oh, it's remarkable really, Dave, because Bradford have been so dominant. But the O's back on level terms. Wonderful delivery. Orient working the ball from the left-hand side into Backinson. He took the touch. I have to say, it's a great cross. But the run from Ballard
To the penalty area, in the box is Ollie O'Neill and Don Ballard again. Don Ballard again, and what a strike, what a finish. And Leyton Orient have come from behind to have a precious advantage. It is Leyton Orient 2, Bradford City 1.
brilliant work rate from the O's, not allowing Bradford to clear their lines. Poor from the visitors, and Orient capitalised on it. Full credit to Ollie O'Neill for just getting his body in between the defender and the ball, and it just sat up, it bounced, and Ballard on it in a flash. Double figures for him. That's great to see before Christmas. Leading marksman Don Ballard with his 10th goal, and O'Neill there causing problems for the defender. He came across Joe Wright, he failed to clear the ball, and Ballard lashed it home. What a remarkable game this has been.
And what a finish.
Yeah, just again, look at it as it sits there. Just put your laces through it.
that's the Bradford highlights. So now I'm going to go over to Mr. Graham Alexander.
Gaffer, defeat here this afternoon. How do you assess the game today?
It's a game we should take something from, at least a point. And to be fair, the way we played in the first half, especially all the amount of chances we created in the first half, 3 points. But we couldn't get that second goal. We had some really good opportunities today to extend our lead, and didn't take them. Then we've given a really sloppy goal away, the equaliser. We've just got we're 4v3 in the middle of the goal, and we don't make any contact with anybody. So the lad's got a free header, and then I thought we started the second half really strong again. Had some good opportunities. I think we had one just before they got the second, and the second really we've given them a goal for our own possession, and it's a disappointing way to lose a game, because I think it was a game that was in our control, within our hands. And it's very much unlike us to lose a game, certainly when we've been in the league.
Is that even more frustrating when you come away from home to a tough place like Leyton Orient, play so well for me 50, 60 minutes before they go ahead?
Yeah, I think it is, but that's the nature of the game. We talk about all the time about scoring more than your opponent. That's the most important statistic in football, and we haven't done that today yet. But when you look at the performance, we'll be able to take so many positives from that. But you have to be clinical, and then you have to be decisive in defensive actions. And I think we've been like that all season. I think up to today we're the third best defence in the division. Just come off the back of 4 clean sheets, so it's not like we're porous. It's not like we're committing these mistakes week in, week out. So we just have to crack on with our game model, with how we play, because we've shown how many games we can win with that and how many points we can win with that. So it's just disappointing today, because after 20, 30 minutes, I'm thinking this is a game that we're going to go on with 3 points and a really strong performance. But goals can change the momentum of games, and I think that happens there.
Is it just a brutal reminder of how much you have to take your chances when you're on top, as well as how much you have to be on top in those fine margins?
Yeah, look, I think we deal with the realities of football really well. We don't kid ourselves. We understand that there's 2 sides of the game, that you have to be defensively strong, but you have to have goal threats and you have to have an intent to score. I think we balance those 2 things up really well, and you can see that in our performance. You've got to have a hard edge about you at both ends of the pitch, and I think we've been really good at that. Well, the results show that. It's just, it's very unlike, like I said, I can't remember the last time we lost a game when we took the lead in the league and had 11 men on the pitch. So we just have to put it down to experience. What can we do better next time? So, we can't just shrug it under the carpet because we had a really good season so far. That's going to sting for a few days, that one, I think, because of the nature of the goals.
And that's it as well, though, over the last 18 months, whether it was the players last season, the players this season, trying to get punched on the nose, like you say, and then respond and come back positively.
Yeah, well, look, I think we've shown that so many times, and that's why you get the response that we get from the supporters at the end of the game, even though we've travelled down, such a long journey just before Christmas, but they've come down in numbers again, as they always do. But it's a response after a defeat that I say pleases me more, but it makes me proud of what we've created here at the club, between the supporters and the team, and vice versa. I think they can see a team that's playing well, they can see a team that is a good team, and they can see a team that performed today. But, we have to have that professional level of just being ruthless, and I think we've been really good at that. But yeah, look, it's just one of those that we have to take on the chin. We can't look at anybody else. You give Leyton Orient credit for staying in the game in the first place and then getting 2 goals, but we know that's a game that we can affect in different ways to make sure we take 3 points next time.
And how important is that togetherness that you mentioned there between the supporters and the players, but also showing the players working hard like they do every game to show and maintain that relationship? Yeah,
look, I know what supporters want to see minimum from their team. It's a hard-working team that's committed, that plays for the badge, that plays for them, plays for each other, and they see that week in, week out. We don't let ourselves down in that respect. Sometimes we make mistakes and don't win, But certainly on an attitude level and a commitment level, I don't think anyone can question that. And I think that's why the supporters really sort of connect with the team and each individual within it, because there's a real team ethic there. But you have to have more than that to win games of football. So we have to add what we've had all season. But we love that sport. We respect that sport, and I know we'll have it again in the next game.
The beauty of league football is there's nearly always a chance to put it right again in the next game. We've got a busy period coming out with the festive period.
Yeah, and I think we need to carry a little bit of that sting and pain into the next game, because we've responded really well to any setbacks this season, last season, shown our true character. I don't expect anything else from the players, but there's certain things that we have to do better if we want better results. But I've got every confidence that the players will do that.
In the first game is Wigan on Boxing Day. It's nearly a sort already. How much of a special atmosphere will that be, and also the perfect environment to try and bounce back?
So it's a game at Valley Parade. We know the backing will be there. We know the players with their attitude. They'll be straight at it again. They'll be like that in the next day's training, because they're great professionals. They're so conscientious about their job and about winning, and it's going to sting. But what's better than going out into a full house at Valley Parade to sort of get that pain away. But we're going to have to work hard and play well to do that. It's not a gimme. We can't think just because this didn't go well today that the next game is an automatic win. We have to go and show what we're about as a proper team.
So that was Graham Alexander. Now I'm going to play Richie Wellings, Leyton Orient manager.
Richie, thanks for joining us and congratulations. Don Ballard again.
Yeah, I thought he was excellent. His work great. Could have scored more if he was a bit more ruthless in the last 20 minutes, especially with our breakaways to have certain situations we should be scoring more. But I think Don was a really good platform for us. Excellent 2 goals. And listen, where he's come in the space of 6 months, if he carries on that trajectory, then he can be a top player.
To get into double figures so early in the campaign is really exciting, isn't it?
But he's not just that. He's not just a poacher. He can run. He can get older a bit. He can link play. His work rate excellent, so you can press with him. Just a bit more belief at times with his pressing. We're not going to stop pushing him, because if we stop and let him rest on his laurels, then he's not going to improve. So I'm on him all the time, every day. I think he's a real good player in there.
Showed a lot of character to beat a good team.
Yeah, I don't think we started the game well. We wanted to pick our system and impact our system on them, and I thought we did in terms of possession. And we played some really good stuff. It was a little bit hairy, scary at times. But if we just didn't clean the next to last pass off, or the last pass, and we lost it in midfield, or when they press with the wingers, with the wing back the way that they do with the 2 10s and the striker, then it can be dangerous if you give the ball away. So we ultimately, but out of possession, they caused a problem, especially Diag onto Halliday, Sarcevic running that space. It caused a big problem. So we had to make a call to make a sub so early, and I think that sub helped us, made us look more solid, but it didn't blunt our passing and movement. I thought it was really good in possession today.
It was a mixed first half for Tommy Simpkin. One excellent save, a couple of errors.
Yeah, listen, but the main thing is he responded from his mentality today was really, really good. So everybody makes mistakes in life. He didn't mean it. And he sweeped up well for us today. It's something that he needs to improve. If you want to be a top goalkeeper now, all top goalkeepers are really good at sweeping up behind defence. But what I'm really pleased is he made a mistake, he learned from it, and then his mentality got stronger. And obviously they put him, the keeper up at the end for 2 or 3 corners, and he came in, he punched a couple, pulled off some good saves. I thought he was outstanding.
It wouldn't be an Orient game without a couple of injuries. How's Theo Archibald?
Not ideal, because he wanted to give it a go at half time, and the medical staff was comfortable that he was fit to play on. But then when you've made one sub after half an hour and then another after 46 minutes, it's not a great position to be in. But I think it's just a bang in the ribs. So hopefully he'll be okay.
And Teo, is he okay?
Teo was a tactical. We kept on getting in that side. Don't think the defensive for the system helped us, and we didn't have the personnel to build as a 4 and go into a 5, because they cause you problem. They run hard, do the basics really well, and they run hard, and they put bodies on your last line. So if you've not got them spaces covered, or you don't shift quick enough, then it causes you problems. And we didn't do that. I thought that going to 3 centre backs helped us.
the character was evident against the team. I think had gone 385 minutes without conceding in the league.
But we could have scored a lot more today. They could have scored as well, but we could have scored a lot more, especially in that period where we kept on breaking and we missed chances. But listen, they're a big club, big following. Thought their following was good again today. Obviously at home, we've got a lot of supporters as well. And when you get momentum from the previous league, you can use it, and they've certainly done that. So I thought it was a goal threat. I do think that when we probably from 27, 28 minutes, we nullified them up until the last probably 15 minutes of the game. I thought it was all in all a good performance.
Great atmosphere, and the faithful played their part.
It was, and listen, we've suffered some late goals recently, haven't we? And you need to go through them sometimes to get hurt, to then learn from it. And it's probably a good way to win today because they're pushing, the goalkeeper's coming up, they're pushing against a team that are used to winning. And sometimes you need to go through it and stay positive. We won the ball back loads of times, even though he was pushing us back to break on him. So I think it's a good win for our mentality, for our learning capacity to go forward, and our belief. If we stick to the way that we want to play, then we can be as good as anyone in this league.
Games coming thick and fast over the festive period. Will Azim Abdullah be available?
Yeah, Azim nearly made it. He tried to train yesterday, but just had to pull out with his toe. Zek was sub today, but he pulled out ill. TJ's obviously back on the bench today. Is anybody else?
Was Charlie okay? He came off.
Yeah, he's been ill this week, so he wasn't feeling so great. And then he just run out of puffs, so still got a little bit of chest.
So that was Richie Wellens, the manager of Leyton Orient, talking about how his team went on. So my thoughts on the game: the team played obviously okay in the first half. We should have scored more goals in the first half. We dominated the team in the first 20, 30 minutes. And then the second half, it just went to crap. Defence just non-existent. Mistakes from the back, playing out from the back. We shouldn't have played out from the back whatsoever. In them games, just smash it up front. Do not play from the back, and it did cost us. Also, the referee actually played well for once, I think, in my opinion. He did okay. End up losing the game 2-1, but Bradford do need decent players in January transfer. I think my opinion, Cook's probably going to go, Cav's going to go, and other players probably follow. Probably Byrne, Baldwin, and Richardson probably all leaving the club. We need to bring in championship players if we want to come out of this league. So we'll see what happens there. So, Green Army Harry.
Yes.
So now we're going to just go through League One games. So obviously, I'm just going to go through so Stevenage 2, Burton 2, Wigan 0, Blackpool 2. And then we're going to go on to Doncaster 1, Plymouth 5, your team. What happened with your team? How have you done that?
I'm going to be honest, Johnny. I think we had Coventry's lineup, to be honest, because I never expected us to win 5-1, especially away at Doncaster. That's probably the best result. Without a doubt, that is the best result we have had so far this season, and I'm just so happy with how we played yesterday, honestly.
Okay, so we're now going to go through your highlights, bud. So this is the highlights of Doncaster versus Argyle.
Taken quickly from Broadbent. Trying to find Molyneux. Did it hit the arm of Soronola is what the Doncaster fans are claiming. Will still be Molyneux. Gets outside, cuts it into Hanlon, 1-0. First chance of the game comes 4 minutes in. Doncaster throw. The trickiness of this game, because of the way that Doncaster play, and they are quite possession-based, given that they're in the lead, they will want to keep hold of it and try and boss it, but Hosseini's won it back, and Talay! Scrap that, because Argyle have equalised, and it's come from a bit of pressure. Soronola, Hosseini, nice turn on the left-hand side. Flicks to Mumba, who can take over and cut in field. Boateng for Talay, plays it to Hosseini, right-footed shot, goal! What can Argyle do about coming from behind? Well, they've turned 1-0 down into 2-1 up. Now they've got to do something about keeping hold of that. And are they going to start here with Hosseini playing it through to Talai? He's clean through, edge of the box, Talai! It's 3-1. The amount of those little jewels that Argyle are winning, and now Hosseini's found a nice pocket inside right position, plays it for Talai, gets it beyond. Oh, it's a good save. It's all about where it lands, and it's better going to land where Malachi Boateng is. He gets it, plays it forward. Hosseini through. Can he go round the keeper? And he goes down. Penalty. Here's Talai from the spot. Takes a breath, steps up, left-footed, slots it in. And Argyle have a fourth goal. Sorinola on the edge of the box, into Peppel's feet. Little layoff for Matti Sorinola. It's blocked, but it might fall eventually to Amici near the penalty spot. Scores!
So, Green Army Loop, Harry, what was your thoughts on that fantastic display against Doncaster?
1-0 up and they f***ed it up. Yeah, it was without a doubt best we have played this season. Tolaj again, 3 up. Sorry if you can hear Hoover in the background. Yeah, 1-0 up. They messed it up like really bad. Tolaj with the hat trick. Ozeni and Amechi. Given Amechi was meant to be, he's basically just come back from injury as well. So I did not think he was going to play on the game today, let alone score a goal. But no, just an outstanding performance from the mighty Argyle last night. And if we can keep this up, then we should be able to make it to playoffs, if not instant promotion. But I will say we should have won that game. We should have won that game 6-0. We should have won that game 6-0. The Doncaster's goal was clearly offside and shouldn't have been allowed. And one of our first shots should have gone in. But again, either way, I'm happy we've now gone from relegation to like lower mid table. But no, honestly, great performance from the Greens, and bring on Reading.
So yeah, so that was Harry on his from the Green Army Loop. If you just want to plug your podcast, Harry. Green Army, Harry.
So my podcast is the Green Army Loop, exclusively on Spotify as of now. I will be looking to move platforms at some point. I go live every Tuesday at 5 p.m. live on X. So feel free to drop me a follow on X/Twitter and TikTok at Green Army Loop. I have one more episode left this year talking about the amazing post-match Donny game, pre-match Reading at home for Boxing Day, as well as going over the fixtures in League 1, 2 and Championship for Boxing Day.
Okay, so Hixie, I will get to you in the next 5 minutes or so. So we are just going through League 2 and then, League 1, then League 2, and then if we've got time, National League. So then we've had, obviously, Exeter 3, Barnsley 0, Leyton Orient 2, Bradford 1, Lincoln 2, Cardiff 1, Mansfield 1, Stockport 2, Port Vale 0, Peterborough 1, Rotherham 1, Huddersfield 3, Wickham 2, Bolton 1. So then if I just get the league table up. So here's the league table from top to bottom. So we've got Cardiff at the top on 41, Lincoln on 38, Bradford 37, Stevenage 35, Stockport 35 in 5th. In 6th, we've got Bolton on 35. Then we have got Huddersfield in 7th on 31, Luton in 8th on 29, Wickham Wanderers 9th on 28, Barnsley 10th on 28, Leyton Orient 11th on 28, Northampton Town 12th on 27, AFC Wimbledon 27 points in 13th, 14th, we've got Wigan on 26 points, Reading 15th on 25, Peterborough in 16th with 25 points. Plymouth Argyle, who's magnificently recovered now up to 17th on 25 points. Rotherham 18th on 24. Burton Albion 19th on 24. Exeter City 20th on 23. And then the bottom of the league, we've got Mansfield 21st on 23rd. Blackpool 22nd on 23. We've got Doncaster 23rd on 22 points. And Port Vale 24th on 15 points. So the question I want to ask all of you is, do you think Doncaster should sack Grant McCann?
Well, I mean, given the performance yesterday, it's got to be inevitable. Losing to former championship team who have been struggling in relegation throughout the entirety of the season thus far, and having lost that game 5-1 on your home turf, that says a lot, really. It really does say a lot. Like, that was just an absolute shocking performance from Doncaster yesterday. They did try their best, but obviously they did lose. So I'd say, yeah, Doncaster, January transfer, might want to get yourselves a new manager.
So then now we are jumping on to League Two. And we've got Bromley 2, Grimsby 0, Notts County 0, Walsall 0. So, top of the cop, Harry.
Hello.
Hello. So, what was your thoughts on your game?
Dreadful. I mean, I don't know how we didn't win it at the end. We had so many chances, just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. Walsall didn't really show up. I think they was coming to our place for a draw, really. I think that's what they wanted, and that's what they got. Didn't create a lot in the first half, 0-0 going into it. Second half, I was just a lot better, but just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. That simple, really.
And Hicksy, are you here, mate?
I am, pal. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you, mate. You're coming through loud and clear. So obviously you played Harry's team yesterday, Notts County. What was your thoughts from your perspective of the game?
Do you know what, Johnny? It's, again, like Harry said, we was there for a draw. I think, if I remember correctly, I think it was something like 29% possession for Walsall and one shot. How their keeper saved that one shot, I'll never know. But again, it was a defensive error and we got lucky. But it is what it is. I really, at this point, as nice as it is, being top for Christmas, Johnny, I don't understand how we're here. Like the team that I saw yesterday, and even Gateshead, you go to Gateshead in the FA Cup, and I think it was something like 34% possession against the non-league team. It's shambolic. I don't understand how it's working, but apparently it's working.
So next up, I'm going to play your highlights.
Real quick, Johnny. Can I just quickly say something?
Yeah.
So obviously, Hicks and Harry, we're both Notts County and Walsall being at the top two at this point in the season. I did watch your highlights yesterday, and I've got to admit that was an atrocious performance from both sides. And with the fact that you're both at the top of the league, I'm sorry, I was expecting a lot more from your teams. I really was. Like being at the top of the league, obviously the top two teams in the league going head to head. It should be an absolute goal fest, but no, I'm sorry, your team should hang their heads in shame with being top two and putting on a performance like that. That was just dreadful.
So Nuts and Bolts podcast is put 24% Walsall had. So sorry to put you through this now, Harry and Hicksy. I'm going to play you your highlights, and then
I'm surprised there isn't any highlights.
Yeah. So then, yeah, it's 2 minutes long, these highlights. I don't know where they've got them from, but so then after I've played the highlights, I'm going to play obviously your manager, Harry, and then we'll get your thoughts on that. And then Hicksy, I'll get your thoughts on your manager, what he has said. So I need to do that. Play this.
Jetta. heading towards the Walsall penalty area. Looked as though he was fouled too. The effort on goal does zip through and flies past the post and wide. It's cheaply given away, and this could be trouble. Kanu with a chance, and it's well saved by the informed Keller Roos. Lifting one into midfield, a cushion header by Dennis, and this looks promising. Grant looking for Jetta, Dennis with a chance. This corner is taken short. Bennett's using his pace, cuts it back. Big chance to go for it. Curry arrives to deliver the ball in. It's a very good one as well. It needed the header away. And Farquharson was able to reach it before anything unfolded that was also dangerous for Walsall. Rolls across towards Grant. He's gone for goal. And it's a good save by Miles Roberts, who gets down quickly. Lupenda probably shouldn't have been allowed to get there, but Jones then turning the cross into the penalty area. Not cleared away, and what a save. What a brilliant save to deny Matthew Bennett. Jody Jones on the corner, and a big punch away by Miles Roberts. And back here with Jones. Deflected in, acrobatics wide of target from Lewis Macari. That lovely burst of pace right through the middle of the Walsall defenders, and that is an effort comfortably stopped in the end by Miles Roberts.
So that's your highlights. So now I am going to play your manager, Harry, and I'll get your thoughts on your manager.
I think the game's quite clear, really. I thought we were dominant and had the ball, and credit to Walsall, defended for their lives, and we had to try and find openings. They kind of early on, I think they tried to step, but once we broke them a few times, it was a case of could we break them down, and as simple as it can be, there's a bit of frustration at not beating Walsall, who are top of the table. There's a lot of frustration in the group, which is good, that we just didn't find that moment. But I think it was as simple as we just didn't score today. I think we did everything but, and that's football. I thought a few finer moments, probably a little bit more gambling, a little bit braver in the final third. But again, the attitude, mentality of the group was to go and win. We made positive changes. We continued to try and play our way, but understanding that in moments when people defend as low as they do, you've just got to try and be brutal and get crosses in and force it a little bit. And they defended their box ever so well, but I thought there was a couple of chances that normally we convert. And listen, I can't be too hung up on it. I have to really keep an emotional control that I think the performance was good, not the result. So we'll carry that frustration into the next game. We'll look at things that probably we could do better to get more bodies in the box if we can. A couple of times it dropped and I was thinking someone should be there, but we'll look, because it is difficult to beat a low block, and the thing that I am pleased most about is that we defended throughout the game really well. We stayed organised, and we were always positive to try and work the ball through, to try and cause moments. It's very hard at times when they put 11 people behind the ball, and everything inside you is like, quick, speed it up, but there's just no space. You have to try and lure them out, hook them. You have to try and find a decisive pass, then a set, then maybe out wide. But it wasn't for the one to try, and we're disappointed for not winning at home. But the positives are we're in the mix, and we have a mentality that we're not happy with the draw. We want to win.
It certainly felt like with the sort of reaction of both sets of players at the end, lots of handshake, lots of conversations, almost like there was a very good mutual respect that both teams had given the other one a very good game.
Yeah, absolutely. They're there for a reason, and we wanted to take it from them. Make no bones about that. So that's the objective now for the next 3 or 4 weeks, no matter who it is. The league's tough. I think there'll be loads of up and downs to come with maybe 7 or 8 teams, even more probably. So we've just got to remember what we are as a football club, how we want to conduct ourselves in the next 4 or 5 games, and use that performance level as a marker, and just get the smaller things, the small, the next pieces. We've scored a really good amount of goals, so I'm not concerned that we're not scoring goals. We are. Just today was just not our day in that final third, and you have to be honest with that at times. Just didn't find that moment. As much as I thought we had dominance throughout the game, it was just having that realisation that it's good, but it doesn't mean that you win. You have to have that final moment and that little bit of quality. We've normally got it. Today was an off day in that, but everything else was satisfactory.
Ollie Norburn won the man of the match. I think it could have gone to him. Equally, Tom Yorpenda, just as a central midfield pairing, particularly when, a couple of weeks ago, neither of them were really in that position with Matt Palmer and Scott Robertson. So for them to have come in and played really well as a partnership, what did you make of them?
I think that, sometimes throughout the course of the last few weeks, what you're seeing is a window into how we work and how we train and how we conduct ourselves on a daily basis. We have daily habits that I insist on. And that's staying ready, staying fit, pushing the people that are in the team. We want a group that are not happy when they're not playing. We don't want them high-fiving, going, I like this. No, support your teammates, but have that inner drive to get on the field. Both of them have that. We have it all over the group. And it's the next up mentality. Obviously Skipper is coming back now, he's closing in on it. Robbo unfortunately picked up something, so Ollie stepped in, started, and I think it's been fantastic for us and for me. And on that point with both of those midfield players, and I could name a few today, I thought the defensive line handled Kanu's pace and power very well, because he's good. And the physicality of Matt and Presley. So lots of really good individual stuff that we're pleased with. But also the recognition of we've found the way in the last 3 or 4 games to win. Didn't find it today, so just talk about it, be honest, and try and improve.
So, top of the cup, Harry, what was your thoughts on your manager there?
Personally, I just think he speaks the truth. We did create a lot of chances, obviously just couldn't find the back of the net. They did defend with every man behind the ball, I thought, throughout the whole game. Just speaks the truth. We are weak in that midfield where obviously our captain's out, Webbo's out, and our key players are out, so more players have to step in those positions to pick up wins at the right stages of the moment. But yeah, Walsall, they are a good side. Obviously, that player that you've mentioned, he does have a lot of pace. I think the shot that he had was our mistake, where I think Norburn passed it to him. He had a one-on-one with the goalkeeper. I didn't know how he didn't score, but it was a good save from Bruce. It's a good point in the right direction if we want to go up at the end of the season. So you have to take it on the chin, move on to the next game.
Okay, so Hicksy, I'm going to play yours now, but we are running out a little bit of time. So I'm going to play about 3 minutes of this, bud, and then we'll get your thoughts on it.
Joining us after a 0-0 draw away at Notts County. In not so shocking news, it was a very close game between the top two. Talk us through it.
It was a tough game, really tough. I thought opening start of the game, there was a couple of shifts in the way that the game was. Daniel looked like a real threat. Probably had one of a game of very few chances, but that was a big moment in the game, if you like, and then maybe you're wanting that to fall to Jammer. So that was our side of things. I think it was one of them games where we just looked a little bit energyless today in the way that we normally play. There's a few bugs around the camp. Jammer was dead on his feet, Flinty exactly the same. There's quite a few of the lads that were nursing illness, but it just felt like we didn't have that energy that we normally have within the team, and that kind of contributed then to having large spells out of possession, which then we didn't. I thought we managed them very, very well, but just not our usual high energy. There was a hell of a lot of work. I thought the lads worked incredibly hard for each other and for the team. And I don't think they had loads of chances. I don't think it was that. I think Miles made a good save. And we defended our box brilliantly. As a team, everyone defending their box brilliantly. But it just felt like we were just a little bit not to our usual level of energy today. That's probably the biggest thing I'd say, which then contributed to us when we were in possession. We weren't quite brave enough and bright enough and proactive enough to move the football, to get on the ball more for the ways that.
So, Hicksy, obviously I couldn't play the whole thing there, but what was your thoughts on your manager there, bud?
Let me just leave and come back a sec. Hold
on. Okay. So, Harry, are you still here? Both Harrys?
Yes.
So we've got like 10 seconds to fill. So have you got any last thoughts on your team?
I mean, it's a big game on Boxing Day. You can go first.
I'll just say, well done to the lads. I mean, I said this to Ash last night. I did get a bit teary because my granddad would have loved to have seen us 5-1 away. No, just outstanding performance from us. And if we can do the same kind of thing on Boxing Day against Reading at home, then I'll be happy with that. If not, it's definitely a learning curve. All we can do is improve from here. Well played from all teams this weekend, whether you lost, whether you won, whether you draw. Just amazing performances.
So, top of the cup, Harry, got any last words?
I mean, I think I've said most of it already. Going into a big game on Boxing Day, Chesterfield away, obviously it's a derby as well, which is massive for the fans, etc. I know we can improve on just finding the back of the net. If we improve what we can, I think we will. We just need to keep on playing how we are and create those chances, those scoring chances to win games. And it's going up to the best part of the season now, and the festive season. Picking up how many points that you can is obviously massive if you want to get promotion, and then obviously January onwards is going to be crucial.
Are you back, Hicksy?
Yes, mate, I can actually hear you now, yeah.
It's that Wi-Fi in Walsall, it likes to bottle it, doesn't it, mate?
Bro, do you know what? Speaking of bottling it, I think I don't understand what game Matt Sadler saw to think that we even had a chance. How Notts didn't win 3-0, 3-1 is beyond me. But I think going into January, obviously we've got Crewe Boxing Day, that's a big game as well. But going into January, I think we definitely do need to strengthen the team. I know I saw the interview from Charlton's manager the other week, and he said he's looking at options because of their injury. So I think Daniel Carnu will end up going back. And again, it's another repeat of the last 4 years that we haven't learnt our lesson from, clearly. You get these lone strikers in the summer, they overperform, and then we're left defenceless in January. And I think there's got to be some point where you break that curse. I mean, it was Danny Johnson, Freddie Draper, the biggest one in Nathan Lowe last season, and now Daniel Carnu again. It needs to change, and I think when it comes to Matt Sadler, Johnny, you know my views on him very well. I like him as a guy, can't stand him as a manager, but he rides his luck and he's still somehow in a job. I don't understand it.
Yeah. So then we're just going to quickly now nip through the other results. So we've got Barnet 1, Salford 3, Colchester 4, Newport 1, Fleetwood 2, Gillingham 1, Harrogate 0, MK Dons 4, Oldham 3, Tranmere 1, Shrewsbury 0, Hicksy's second team, Chesterfield 1, Swindon 1, Crawley 0. And then I'll just quickly nip through the league table. So obviously we've got Walsall at the top. Hopefully they don't bottle it, Hicksy. Then we've got Swindon second on 40. Third, Bromley on 39. Notts County fourth on 38. Milton Keynes 5th on 36, Salford 6th on 36, Chesterfield 7 on 35, Cambridge 8th on 34, Fleetwood 9th on 33, Crewe Alexandra 10th on 32, Colchester 11th on 31, Gillingham 12th on 30, Barnet 13th on 28, Oldham 14th on 27, Grimsby 15th on 27, Tranmere 16th on 26, Stanley Uday exactly 17th on 24, Cheltenham 18th on 24, Barrow 19th on 21, Shrewsbury 20th on 19, Crawley 21st on 18, Bristol Rovers 22nd on 18, Harrogate 23rd on 17, and bottom of the pile, Newport on 24 on 13. So it's not looking good there. So, Harry and Hixie, where do you think you need to improve in January to either go up or playoff spots? Let's start off with Harry and then we'll go Hixie.
Like we said, we need a backup striker because we are playing Dennis and Jester up front all the time, really now, aren't we? So they're getting the goals, but after if someone gets injured or whatever happens to him, so I think we need a backup striker, maybe backup goalkeeper because Roos is playing every game really, and Watford gets injured. I think strengthening in midfield because obviously Palmer and Robbo's out, and I think Robbo's going to be out for a long time. Palmer's coming back, and that's a good sign. I think that's it really.
And Hixie?
Again, I think defensively we're solid. I think the midfield could use a bit of work. We've got 38. Sorry, no, he was 38 last Saturday. Year-old Albert Adamas still terrorising on the wing. He's old enough to claim his pension, mate. I don't get how he's doing that. But I think it all again comes down to strikers. Like Jamil Matt, he's past it. He's lost it. His legs have gone. That Aaron Presley, class kid, but he's still learning. And then obviously Daniel Carno, again, he's not one of our own, so we definitely need help there.
So we've had nuts and bolts say here they've had a bidding for Jatta and Dennis. So Harry, just quickly get your thoughts on that. Would you like to see them go? Do you think they're worth more, or what's your thoughts?
I think if either one of them goes, it's sabotage. I might just be thinking this, but I don't know. I think obviously what happened with Lancashire not last year, this season before, where he left in January to go to Millwall. Obviously, he's not really doing great there, is he? I don't know if we sell him for like $1 million or something. Are we going to invest in that in other positions? Who knows? Because over the recent seasons, we've just been getting players from that National League, not really experienced, and yeah, I don't know. Hopefully not, because they are scoring goals for us. Them two, they are second in the thing for most goals scored as a pair in 18, I think, with Haaland and Foden first. So hopefully they don't go, and yeah, hopefully they don't.
Yep. So to National League, we had Boston from yesterday. Boston 0, Aldershot 2, Working 9 till 5 1, Scunthorpe 2, Tamworth 2, Southend 1, York City 4, Truro City 0, Yeovil 0, and Forest Green 2. And I know in the National League today there is obviously some live games today. So the following is half time. So they've got Brackley Town 0, Morecambe 1, Sutton 0, Solihull Moors 0. And then just quickly going through the National League table before we finish up. So we've got Rochdale top of the league, number 1 on 49, Forest Green second on 49, York City 48 on 3, 4th Carlisle 46 points, 5th Boreham Wood 44, Scunthorpe 43 in 6th, Southend 7th on 35, Hartlepool 8th on 33, Working 9 till 5 9, on 31. FC Halifax 10th on 31. Wealdstone, you've got no fans, 11th on 31. Tamworth 12th on 31. Sonny-on-Moors 13th on 29 points. Yeovil 14th on 27. Altrincham 15th on 26. Boston 16th on 24. Sutton 17th on 23. Eastleigh 18th, 23rd. Brackley Town 19th on 20. Braintree 20th on 20 points. Morecambe 21st on 20. Aldershot 22nd, 19 points. Gateshead 23rd with 19 points. And Truro City at the bottom of the league on 24 points and 15 points. So, Mark and Hicksy and Harry. So, obviously, Boxing Day time. You've got a couple games over Boxing Day and New Year's. Podcast won't be back until, obviously, the 3rd of January. So, do you think you're going to win both your games over Boxing Day and New Year's? Starting off with Harry and then Hicksy.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, we've got Chesterfield on Boxing Day away. That's going to be a tough game. I hope we win it because, obviously, it's over our rivals, isn't it? So it'll be nice to get a victory over them. And then MK Dons on the 29th. I mean, we beat them already in December, 3-2. We normally do well against MK Dons, so I hope we should win that. And then hopefully get a win on Boxing Day.
And last but not least, Hicksy.
Usually, 2 weeks ago, Johnny, I sat there and I says, if Crew lose this year, it's 9 years that they've gone without a Boxing Day win. But, you've seen it yourself, the curse can always be broken. So I think going into Crew on Boxing Day, I'm happy with a draw. Just do another knots and play for the draw. And then Oldham, 29th, that's winnable. Cambridge, New Year's Day. Obviously, they came down from League One last season. They're a rocky team, very bipolar. And again, I'm going to be scummy and I'm going to say I'd settle with a draw at Cambridge on New Year's Day, to be fair. Just anything that drags us through January, it's just anything.
So, Harry, if you just want to plug your podcast, mate, and when you're next doing your podcast.
The Top of the Cup podcast out on most of the social sites. I don't know when our next episode will be because obviously it's Christmas and we did one after the Walsall game on Saturday, so that should be out today, really, any time. Yeah.
So I want to say thank you for Top of the Cup, Harry. Thank you for Hicksy for joining. Also, Harry from the Green Army podcast.
You're forgetting something, Johnny.
I've forgotten something. What am I forgetting?
You're not going to mention that we beat you 3-0 on this time last year.
I thought I'd give you the last word, Harry, before I do this and this. So thanks, Harry and Hicksy and other Harry and people on social platforms. Thank you for everybody for watching. If you've liked what you're hearing / watching, search for Chickens on the Loose podcast on all podcast services. If you think we've been all right, give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a follow, give us some feedback. Same with Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, to search for Chickens on the Loose podcast. Also, small Facebook page, Up the Chickens on Facebook, where we do Golden Goal every match day and Super 6 every year. I hope every single one of you has a fantastic Christmas and has a fantastic New Year. Hopefully, Santa brings all you 3 points and also gives you some good gifts. The podcast will be back on the 2nd of January, where I'll be previewing the Blackpool game, and hopefully Harry, Hicksy, other Harry, and Knots and Bolts and all the regulars can come and join us and talk about what we've missed over the Christmas period. Absolutely gutted that Bradford lost yesterday, 2-1 against Leyton Orient, but we move on, still third, some miracle somehow. Wherever you're in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and like always, up the fucking chickens. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, good night.